In this chapter, we're going to talk about pre-use and give you some lay of the land of what the ventilator is made of. The top of the ventilator is your GUI, or graphical user interface, known as the screen. When I turn the ventilator on, we will definitely spend a lot of time talking about the screen and how you interact with the machine. The ventilator obviously sits on a cart. The ventilator itself, or the breath delivery unit, is this box right here. That is where gas is mixed and ultimately delivered to the patient on the inspiratory side through an inspiratory filter and obviously the inspiratory limb of a circuit, and the patient would exhale back through the expiratory limb, through the expiratory filter, and out through the ventilator it goes. So that's your breath delivery unit. The ventilator comes configured in a standard configuration with either a 1 or a 4-hour battery. Remember this, the 840 ventilator is a little older, so these are sealed lead acid batteries. They are not hot swappable or lithium ion, so these do need to be plugged in at all times to keep that battery at a full charge for you. And then at the bottom, there may be a compressor with your ventilator as well. The compressor provides 50 psi of room air in the event you are in an area where you do not have piped in air. On the back of the ventilator, you may have a vent configured with cylinder holders. Obviously, you would put your oxygen and or air cylinders back there for transport, where your hoses connect and power and those kinds of things. The bulk of your work is going to happen with the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and power on the ventilator, continue with some of the pre-use discussions, and then we'll move on. So let's continue with the GUI. The screen, it does move. It rotates 270 degrees, not quite all the way around, but it obviously moves. It tilts upwards or downwards to eliminate any screen glare, or for taller folks and shorter folks. The GUI also can be removed from the cart. We do have a SKU number, a part for a longer communication cable, so that you could operate this ventilator, say, outside of an isolation room or at a distance. Very simply reconnects back to the cart, like so. The ventilator also has, or excuse me, the screen also has some hard keys, what we call bezel keys, right here along the bottom. I'll talk about those in a little bit more detail when I get the ventilator turned on and go over that. The ventilator has an excellent filtration system. We utilize a NIOSH N100 efficiency rating heated integrated expiratory filtration system. That was a mouthful. What I'm telling you is the expiratory filter has to be used with this ventilator, meaning integrated. There's nowhere to put the tubing if you don't have a filter, so you have to use it. And I think you'll want to use it when you realize what N100 efficiency rating means. So N95 efficiency rating is kind of a standard in mechanical ventilation, as well as the filters, the masks we wear for, say, isolation rooms and such. N95 efficiency rating means for every 10,000 pathogens that hit that mask you're wearing, at the most penetrating particle size, which has been established as 0.3 microns, and N95 will allow 500 of those 10,000 pathogens to pass through that medium. Our filter is an N100 rated filter. Bigger number, better efficiency rating. An N100 rated filter means for the same 10,000 pathogens that the patient would exhale back to your ventilator, only three particles would escape this medium. So you have superior filtration in using a Puritan Bennett filter. There is a heating element inside the ventilator that actively heats this filter. That means any active humidification you're using, or say nebulizer particulates, things like that that can get into the circuit, they don't condense or rain out up here in the medium. They actually would rain out where gravity would take that water down at the bottom. So your filter medium, the important part of the filter, is not going to get occluded anytime soon. So much so that our IFU says you can use this filter for as long as 15 continuous days. I totally respect that you have circuit change policies, and if your hospital has one and you're changing more frequently, please do so. We will not you run with your hospital policies, but our IFU does say that the filter can be used on the same patient for as long as 15 days, should you wish to do that. So you have superior filtration, which protects you, the healthcare worker, other patients in the ICU, as well as other family members and so on. So fantastic choice in using the Puritan Bennett. I'm going to go ahead and turn the machine on. Power switch is right up front. I'm already plugged in. Gases are already plugged in. The ventilator goes through a short startup procedure here. You hear the compressor kicks on so that it is fully charged with 50 psi of air at any given moment. So that's the noise you just heard. And now you see some information on the screen. One last note on the ventilator itself from a macro perspective. There are 3 alarms or visual indicators of alarms that if one of these comes on, those are very serious alarms. You have an unrecoverable event, such as a vent in op or a safety valve open, or something about the GUI's communication with the ventilator has been interrupted. So a really loud high pitch accompanied by a light here, your ventilator is in op and you're going to be switching vents. We have other alarms for patient conditions, and I'll certainly go over that in more detail. So let's kind of attack the screen, start identifying what's on here, and in short order we'll have you ventilating something here in just a minute.